America, how we doing today? We are in Kansas. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Yeah, we are in Kansas today. We're out here in western Kansas at my friend's house, actually out here at his farm, and he's off running some fertilizer to one of his workers. They're putting milo in right now. They're planting milo. And no, I'm not up here for harvest yet. It's late June. We would normally be cutting by now, but this year has been a little slower than normal. Lots of rain, lots of cool weather, so the wheat is taking longer to grow and mature and ripen. So with that said, we're just waiting for a couple more weeks before we're actually ready to cut. Normally, let's see, today's the 22nd of June. Normally we're cutting by about the 20th and we're done by about the 29th. Last year we got a little bit later on that. We were cutting all the way through 4th of July, but mostly because it kept raining on us, and we'd cut a little bit and then it rained. We had to wait a couple days for it to dry out, and then we'd cut some more and then it rained, and you know, we had a lot of breaks in between. That's why it took about 2.5, almost 3 weeks last year. Usually it only takes about a week to do all of his cutting up around here. It's later this year. We probably won't start cutting until into July. You know, 2nd or 3rd of July before we actually start cutting. And so I'm not really here to cut and work yet. I'm just passing through on my way to Denver. So I'm going to take that Mayflower trailer over to Denver and deliver it Monday, and then I got a load going down to San Antonio, and then from there I'm going to go down to Eagle Pass and pick up a trailer coming back to Fort Worth. Once I get back to Fort Worth and I'm done, then I'll drive up here in my pickup. So that's the plan anyway, and I'll be getting up here on the 29th or 30th or something like that, and we'll be ready to start cutting on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, right along in there. That's the plan. So with that, I'll let you go. That's just a quick update where I'm at, what I'm doing. And he ought to be back here in a little bit. We're gonna go out and fly the drone around if it's not too windy. It is pretty windy today. So we're gonna go out and fly the drone around and show you some of his crops. That'll be on the next video. Some of those crops, we're gonna show you how it's not quite ripe, and he's gonna explain it a little bit more in depth of how it's all done, and you know, all the Y4s, and you know, which ways and Y4s or something like that. So with that said, I'm going to go back here and wait for him, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Ciao. Morning America, how we doing today? We're getting ready to deliver this trailer. This is the trailer I brought out of Idaho. It's a Trinity Live Bottom. And as you can see, it's a bulk carrier trailer. What we have here is the truck would have a PTO shaft. PTO shaft would run a PTO pump, which would run hydraulics. Hydraulics would go through these hoses up here where the air hoses are. Up here, these hoses up here where the air hoses are. And then what those hoses, they come over here and they control. Let me get over here. These hoses come all the way to the back of the trailer, and what they do is you have this control panel right here. This control panel opens and closes valves, which runs this pump. Okay, this pump turns this crank, this shaft, these belts, these chains are run. Running all over the place, ain't I? By these chains here. These chains have these rubber flaps on here, okay? As these go forward, they go to the front of the trailer, they loop around, and then they come back inside the trailer as the floor, okay? As it comes back over the floor, as you turn that crank, all that product wants to slide back to the end of the trailer, okay? Once it gets to the back of the trailer, you got a hydraulic that opens this little flap up, and the stuff pours out the back. Well, what are you going to use that for? Multiple uses. You can use it for a bulk vegetables like sugar beets, or you could haul wheat in it. You could haul grains, any kind of grains, anything bulk. I've seen these used for hauling asphalt, for like when you're repaving the highway. They haul asphalt down. Just anything bulk that you want to be able to unload yourself. You don't have to rely on some other machinery like a forklift or a loader or something like that to unload the thing. So also up here in Nebraska and different states in the Midwest, they have axle laws. Okay, you got your front axle, you have dual axles, and then they'll have usually a lot of times they have a lift axle in front of the duals, and then they'll have this tandem, and then they'll have a lift in the back. Well, there's 8 tires there, and then there's just 2 tires on this back axle back here. Well, how does that lift up off the ground? Well, right here, if you look, there's an airbag right here. Okay, and what this airbag does, it pushes against this is stationary, and this plate moves up and down. When that swing arm goes up and down, this will move back and forth. Well, when you put air in this pressure in this airbag, that pushes against that, which lifts the shaft up, or the swing arm up, which lifts the axle up off the ground. That's how lift axle works. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this trailer. It's made out of stainless steel. It's got a tarp on the top that rolls open just like a grain trailer. That's about it. That's about all there is to tell about these. They're made by Trinity in Boise, Idaho. And we got to run up here. We got about 40 more miles. I'm in Sidney, Nebraska right now. I'm in Sidney, Nebraska. There's the Love's truck stop. This is a big gravel lot behind the Love's. I assume Love's I'm sorry. I assume Love's owns this back here. They just didn't pave this back here, so it's just like bonus parking. So with that said, we got about 42 miles to go up there and deliver this thing, and I think we ought to get to that. So let's go.